Morning. The December 8th, 2023 regular City of Knoxville public officer hearing is called to order at 9:30. I'm Nicholas Bradshaw, the public officer designated by the mayor as described in the City Code of Ordinances, Article 6, unfit buildings, and charged with addressing properties in the city that are out of compliance with the adopted codes of the City of Knoxville. The adopted codes include the 2018 editions of the following. These are all international codes. Fire code, building, residential, plumbing, mechanical, fuel gas, existing building, energy conservation, swimming pool and spa, and property maintenance code, as well as the 2017 edition of the National Electrical Code. The public officer is authorized to hold hearings, administer oaths and affirmations, examine witnesses, and receive evidence and issue orders as the result of his findings in determining the condition of buildings that are dangerous, unfit, and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants and/or public. The procedure for the public officer is as follows. Each case will start with a report and presentation of evidence by officers representing various city departments. Today, this will primarily consist of, but is not limited to, evidence presented by Mr. Scott Elder, Neighborhood Codes Enforcement Manager for the City of Knoxville. Mr. Elder is employed by the City of Knoxville and is certified as a property maintenance and housing inspector. Following the city's report and testimony, the owner or owners and/or their legal counsel, as well as any members of the general public, will be given an opportunity to respond. The public officer has the authority to limit this time as per his discretion. Today's agenda will be modified to hear the cases of property owners present at this time and in the order signed up as you entered the hearing room. We make this accommodation to minimize any inconvenience to the owners and members of the public here today. For those actively participating in today's meeting, thank you. Your involvement and active participation is appreciated. As per legal counsel, I need to read the following notice of demolition into the record. For orders issued by the public officer, please be aware that just obtaining permits and starting rehabilitation of a structure does not invalidate the city's power to take corrective action, such as demolition of a dangerous structure, regardless of the amount of work performed by the owner. All orders are still in effect if the rehabilitation work has not been completed and the structure has not had all final inspections approved within the time provided by the order or by an extension, if one has been granted. Remember, if rehab is not fully complete or an extension is not in place, the structure may be demolished after the order time has expired or after any prior written extension of time has expired without any further notice given to the owner. All right, are there any questions before we start, before all participants are sworn in? All right. I'll give you a moment to get signed in, then we'll do the swearing in. All right. All individuals testifying today will need to be sworn in. If you are testifying today, please raise your right hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
All right. Ms. Burke, please advise me of any individuals who arrive late and need to be sworn in mid-hearing. All right, we'll dive into today's agenda. Ms. Burke, what is our first property today?
2111 Dodson Avenue.
2111 Dodson Avenue. All right. Mr. Elder, would you like to start presentation of the evidence?
Sure. This is a total burnout. Suffered a fire just recently, maybe in August. It was completely destroyed by the fire, and the remaining walls and partial roof structure, as you can see there, are very unstable. Utilities, of course, have been removed to the house, and it's just a total burnout. That's probably the best picture of it. And we're recommending an immediate repair demolition order on this property.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Elder. I understand we have someone signed up to speak for this item. Sir, could you please state your name and address for the record?
William Joins.
Okay. And the address?
My address is 500 Compton Lane, Knoxville, Tennessee, 37920.
All right. Do you dispute the evidence presented here today, or?
Basically, that house was my uncle's home. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, when that fire happened, he passed in that fire. Mm. My mother is his sister, was his next of kin. Everything was left to her in the will. We just got the insurance claim started last week. I have paperwork showing where we've spoken with Travelers Insurance. They did start the claim last week, and I have another agent coming, supposed to be here about 11 o'clock today, to come out and get some more pictures to get the insurance claim rolling and get everything taken care of. It took us about 2 months to get my mother added to the mortgage statement so that we could find out who the insurance was even through. Because unfortunately we lost all paperwork during we didn't have anything. Everything was lost in the fire. So we had to wait until we got a mortgage statement to even find out who to contact for the mortgage. And his insurance was set up through the mortgage. It was all in one payment. So we had to wait until she was added to speak with them to even find out who the insurance was through. Now we have gone out and cleaned up the yard and the surrounding area. We've tried to, yes, the house is still in rough shape, but we have gone out and tried to start the cleanup process on it. I did go out and board up the door on the shed out behind the building because I spoke with Mr. Stonerock about that. And we did that shed right there where the doorway's open. I did get it boarded up. And then he told me we've got all that stuff off the lines, and I've got pictures in my phone if you'd like to see them as well. But he told me as far as the house went, he said that since we did get the insurance claim started, he said that we had 120 days, that he was given an extension. So he said we had 120 days to have it taken care of, is what he told me.
So just to be clear, you're saying your intention is to repair this property?
Well, we're basically what we're waiting on. We're hoping the insurance will pay off the mortgage. And then our intentions are to sell. We have a couple of people interested in buying it, tearing it down, and rebuilding. So we don't want the property. We would just like to sell it once we get the mortgage taken care of. That's what we're just waiting on with the insurance, is to take care of that part. And then we do have a couple of interested buyers that want to buy. They said they'll take it as is, tear it down, and rebuild on it.
Okay. So you don't have an intention of repairing this structure?
Not for us, no.
Yeah, I would just add that sounds fine, and I'm not sure about the 120 days. Alan's not here. Mr. Stonerock's not here to talk about that, and we're certainly willing to, if we do get this order, which I would still recommend getting the order. If your insurance folks want to get in touch with me, I can extend that time, but what I would prefer not to do is, for a matter of public safety, is to let this sit while you go through sellers. So the responsibility will be that it needs to get down on the ground, and then maybe you can sell the property or what's left of it. But in the condition it is a public safety. So in my opinion, so we'll give you some time to do that. If you want to have your insurance folks contact me, that's fine.
Okay.
But what we don't want to do is leave this here while you go through a list of sellers to get the highest bid for 3 to 6 months. So the danger is to the neighborhood. So we need to get it down as soon as possible.
Absolutely, I understand. I've literally got somebody that said as soon as we get settled with the mortgage, like, they are ready to buy. I haven't gotten an offer from them, but they're ready to buy it immediately. So
if if the order is granted, we do have some discretion to work with them, but we would still like to have that order in our possession so we can make sure that if things fall through for whatever reason on their end, that we still have the authority to act as needed if things get in a stalled situation.
Yeah, understood. All right, anything further, Mr. Joins?
No, sir.
All right.
Just how do I need to get them in contact with you?
Yeah, I can Lisa can give you our office number.
Okay,
when,
just have
when
them
we're finished, and
have my claims agent contact you directly.
Just keep in communication with us, and we'll work with you and
absolutely.
your insurance company.
Absolutely.
So it shouldn't be a problem.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
I do find that the structure at 2111 Dodson Avenue, including the accessory structure, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. And I will order an emergency order. I order the owner to immediately secure and repair the structure at 2111 Dodson Avenue, including the accessory. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed, with the cost of securing the structure being a lien and collected in the same manner as provided in city code.
Mr. Bradshaw?
I think that's not right. Yeah, I think I apologize for that.
That's okay.
I think I want to amend that. I want to go with the emergency order to demolish. I apologize. I got mixed up a little bit there, but obviously it's dangerous and injurious to the public, as I said. But I'll amend this order to be I order the owner to immediately demolish and properly remove the structure at 2111 Dodson Avenue, including the accessory structure. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the city may cause the immediate demolition of the building, with the cost of such emergency demolition being a lien and collected in the same manner as provided in city code. And as we discussed, I encourage you to please get with Mr. Elder if there's any leeway or we can work with. But that building does need to come down soon as humanly possible because of the nature of that condition there. So thank you. All right. What's next, Ms. Berg?
4800 Central Avenue Pike.
All right, this property, it's an existing mixed-use building. It's got some residential apartments above and maybe to the side. We're bringing this today because of the commercial tenant space. We've received several complaints from the tenant that this unit in the bottom repeatedly floods from water leaks. There's some evidence there of the ceiling tiles that are just missing in several areas. There's some drywall in another area that's fallen down. Carpet has been completely saturated. I met with the owner personally, and she came to my office last week and showed me other videos and things of water pooling, and she has tubs of water. Also, the glass storefront, if you go to the front picture, it has been damaged by a vehicle there. You see a car's run into that recently. That's a structural glass storefront, and it's just been boarded up. So she's requested some help in getting that repaired. That's also not been done. So no actions have been taken by the owner to help with the situation. So we're recommending a 60-day repair order for this tenant, well, for this building, so that things can get repaired and the owner can operate safely.
Do we have anybody here to speak on this property? Sir, please step up and state your name and address for the record.
Jerry Glenn, 705 Gate Lane, number 202, zip 37909. I am, by default, now the property manager for this. The water leak was corrected. It was a 3/4 inch supply line that had cavitated old copper, and that was repaired about 3 weeks ago. that looks like where it was. It was above the ceiling, and I was with the craftsman when he repaired it, so I can confirm that it was done. The automobile damage to the front, that was just pure negligence on our part. It should have been done by now. We'll have somebody out there and get that done. It shouldn't take more than a week. But if it does, I'll let you know. Anything else you see that needs to be done, just let us know, and you can let me know. You have my address now. And thank you for your diligence. We couldn't find the list, but we don't need it now. But
Are there any permits for these repairs he's mentioned?
Did you pull a permit for these, for the plumbing repair or any of the plumbing work?
no, it was under $10. I didn't know that we had to permit anything.
Well, I think what we can do is we can get a new checklist of items. This has been, and there's been several things wrong with this building. It looks like at one point since 2021, some repairs have been made, I think, to the back porch, but those permits expired. So what we'll do is we'll get you an updated checklist of items. I'll have the inspector, her name's Renee, get with you. If you'll leave your telephone number with Lisa.
She's got it. We've been communicating and email and
Okay, terrific. I was out there yesterday and was unable to get inside the building. So what I might do is have you coordinate a time with Renee so she can verify that the plumbing's been done.
Yeah.
And and just kind of work with her on it. And we're happy to work with you. Again, we're just recommending 60 days. So it sounds like you'll be able to get it done in 60 days. So
easily. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks. Is anyone else signed up to speak for this item? All right. I find the structure at 4800 Central Avenue, Pike, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. I'll order the owner to repair the structure at 4800 Central Avenue, Pike, within 60 days. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the structure may be placarded as unfit for human habitation and vacated and closed. What's our next item?
1620 Linland Avenue.
All right, it's 1620. All right, Mr. Elder.
So this, as you can see, is also a total burnout situation. This happened maybe not quite 2 years ago, but it's getting close. And this already has a repair demolition order on it. It was issued by in May of this year by the public hearing officer. However, at the time, it was under a different ownership. I think the bank had it at that point. So what we're doing is coming back to this meeting to get a new order for an immediate repair demolition order on the house under the new owners. So I think the original family has regained possession of the house. So we want the order to reflect the new ownership. But the 60 days did expire without any contact or any actions by the bank or anyone. So the house really does need to come down. As you can see, it's in an active neighborhood and it's beyond repair. It's a total burnout. So we're just asking for an immediate repair demolition order for this house.
Is there anyone signed up to speak for this item? Step up and please state your name and address for the record.
Billy Coe, 6918 Rising Road.
John Coe, 6918 Rising Road.
Okay. All right. Are you disputing the condition of this property in any way?
Well, I just got ownership back. I had ownership. I was on the mortgage with my father, and he's deceased. And the insurance company took the $75,000 check in December and applied it to the mortgage, and then done a foreclosure for a remainder of $7,000 in January. which I filed a suit with a lawyer on unlawful foreclosure, which I did win the case, and it was deeded back to me October the 10th, I think it was, is what they said. It was in the official, but they was sending the papers from the bank. But the mortgage is paid off. There's nothing owed on it now. And my plan is, now that I own it, because I wasn't going to pay to have it tore down when I didn't own it. I mean, because that's like 16 grand. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay that until it's mine again. But our plan is to have it completely demolished and have a modular home put in. It's just going through the processes. I'm not sure how and what all I need to do that, because I was told, it's got to be put on a foundation and all that.
Okay, so just to reiterate, you have no intention of repairing this property?
Oh, it's unrepairable, yeah. The inside is total crisp. I mean, it's just, the best part's what you see right there.
Yeah.
And I know it's took us longer, but I did lose 2 grandbabies in that fire. It was hard.
Yeah. That's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that.
We've just been waiting to get it back so we could get it tore down, because I know it's a nuisance, and we talked to neighbors, and it's just waiting. We didn't own it at the time, so there's nothing we could have really done at the process, in the process. It was just waiting to get ownership back before we could do anything to it.
Yeah. Goodness.
That's the only place I'd ever lived my whole life, so that's just why I want to build back there.
Yeah, I understand. Do you have a follow-up on that?
Yeah, I just, so now that you say you got it in early October, so what are the plans on getting it demolished? Our interest here is only public safety, right? So it's been there for over 2 months, and we're starting to hear from the neighbors, and it's really
it's a nuisance. I understand.
It is.
We look at it every day. We go by there every day.
So what are your plans now that you do have ownership? Have you contacted a demolition contractor, or?
Well, I've been talking to them through Clayton Homes, and they're supposed to be getting back with me about, because if you have a piece of land, they'll come in and clear all the trees and everything, and clean it up for you to put your modular home. I'm finding out if they will do the demolition to that, as in, preparing to put the new modular home in there.
Someone said that they have a program that they tear houses down, something like that, but they're supposed to be contacting them and letting us know if they do or if they don't.
Okay. All right. We just wanted to get a plan, so we're just seeking a plan. So I've never heard of that, but that'd be great if they did have a program.
I know. I'm waiting.
Yeah. So
If not, if the city does tear it down, how do you all do that? Do we pay you all?
We will send you we will send you an invoice for that.
Will it be a lump sum or?
Very likely. I mean, there could be some breakdown, but it will be what it will be. So.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I've got several estimates on it from before all that happened with the mortgage payment and all that. I've had people price it from $12,000 to $22,000 to tear it down. It just depends.
Yeah. So what's your plan? So timeline wise, I know it's the holidays, so I think that there's probably a little bit of room there, but beyond that.
My plan is.
As soon as possible.
Timeline. Can you give us 30 days, 60 days?
60
Can you do
days?
60 days? That way get through the first of the year. Because my plan is, like I said.
I want it gone. And I know the neighbors do, and I know you all, tired of hearing about it as well,
Well, okay. Well, I just, like the other one, if we could just get the immediate demolition repair order, if you can stay in contact with us, we can work with you. But keep in mind, we're going to be pressing to get this down. It's been there almost 2 years, and there's children on that street, and it needs to come down. Now that you do have possession of it, it is on you to make sure it comes down quickly.
Okay.
So.
All right. And I'll reiterate that when we make the order today, that doesn't mean it goes down tomorrow. As Scott said, there's a little bit of time, but just make sure y'all understand the process, and the codes office here is available to answer questions, 5 days a week, and I hope you take advantage of that. Anything further on this property? Well, I apologize once again for your loss. That's a real tragedy. I'm very sorry to hear about it. So, thank you for coming today.
And I believe I have your phone number still. Okay. Thank you.
I had one person send me an email talking about.
Step back so we can get you. Yeah.
I had one person send me an email talking about why my name wasn't on the deed before I paid the house off. I don't know why, because when my dad refinanced it, I was the co-signer with him. So when he passed, I just continued paying on it since he passed in '09, and I've been paying on it ever since. And then whenever it got paid off, my lawyer had them deed it back to me because my father's deceased. And I'm not sure.
That was me that we were emailing on it. So the financial documents, that's not the same as the actual deed on the property or changing of ownership. So you really, considering your father had other children, and his estate was never probated, so there's no documentation that the property was left to you, you really should contact a property attorney.
Okay, well, there's a will that.
And that's great. That'll help it out. But you really should contact a property attorney to see about getting that in your name, because there is a good chance that if you try to finance the property on your own, there will be questions about that. That doesn't necessarily matter for what we're doing, but just as a heads up, that's something I want to take care of.
All right, that's what I wanted to find out while I was here on that too. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. In terms of the finding of fact here, I do find that the structure at 1620 Linland Avenue, including accessory structures, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or the public. And I will order the owner to immediately demolish the property and remove the structure at 1620 Linland Avenue, including accessory structures. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the city may cause the immediate demolition of the building, with the cost of such emergency demolition being a lien and collected in the same manner as provided in city code. Thank you. All right, I believe that takes us to our last item, 3910 Carnation Drive. Is that correct?
That's correct.
This property also has been before the public hearing officer, and it received a repair-only order, 60-day repair-only order in July of this year. However, since that time, we didn't get any response from the owners. And since that time, the storm that came through town, it blew a tree over, and there's been substantial damage that has occurred to the house. As you can see, that it's completely overgrown, and it's just being taken over by the land. There's been reports of vagrancy there. We've reported it. We've boarded it several times, and so we are with the time given from the original order and no action, plus the continuing deterioration and concerns for the neighborhood. We're asking for an immediate repair demolition order for this property.
All right. Is there anyone here to speak for this one? I think not. Okay. I do find that the structure at 3910 Carnation Drive, including accessory structures, is out of compliance with the codes of the city of Knoxville, an attractive nuisance, and is dangerous and injurious to the health and safety of the occupants or public. Obviously, we did this in July, 60 days, and that has elapsed. So we'll order the owner to immediately demolish the property and remove the structure at 3910 Carnation Drive, including accessories. If the owner fails to take corrective action, the city may cause the immediate demolition of the building, with the cost of such emergency demolition being a lien and collected in the same manner as provided in city code. All right. I believe that's the last item on the agenda. Any other business before me today? If not, this hearing is adjourned. Thank you.
Recording stopped.